Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What's up with you? How are you today?
I'm super
We're
fab, super fabulous. Just saying hello to some folks in the chat. How are you?
not bad. Not bad. Really looking forward to this conversation.
Yes. So am I. So am I. All week, actually, every day, I think about this topic. Like, man, everybody and their mama tells me who they think I am, and I never take the time to ask myself. So when we were talking about this, I thought this would be a great topic. I know we have some folks online who want to know about this topic and wanted to hear our perspectives. I think what you and I do differently is we bring I won't call it professional, but a professional clinical. Um, Coaching is not clinical. What would we call coaching? What would,
Mm,
professional. Yeah, so a professional coach, right?
yeah.
Professional coach or certified coach, professional coach licensed
hmm
professional or clinical professional. So we bring that perspective.
hmm
I think the here and now, how do you deal with the here and now, and how do you deal with stuff in the future? So we have a three-part series we want to bring to you tonight. Please hit those like buttons if you are here. And throughout the show, if you know people who might get some value out of what we're talking about, please invite them to the show. And we will take questions, but the ones that are going to get our attention the most, are the ones with those bangers. Because I
Yeah.
know when I'm talking, and we do have a DJ in the house for us, Black David, right? Is it Black David?
Yep.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought I saw his name.
Yep.
So he's our technician and helping to run the show. Welcome to the Black Man. You're supposed to finish it.
Oh, Unfiltered
Unfiltered
Network.
network,
Sorry,
yeah,
I
because
got
we say
the.
it together. Yeah. If
Yes.
not, people are going to think I'm talking about me. Welcome to the Black Man Show, and then you're on the other side. Hi.
That's a good point. My bad.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. Glad to have you here with us. I'm Dr. Nakumbe, and you are
I'm Coach. Well, I go on YouTube. I'm Coach K, but I'm
okay,
Katie.
Katie. All right.
Yep.
Nice to have you with us tonight.
hmm
Okay,
hmm
any upfront questions before we jump in from any of the people listening in our audience?
Yeah, we
See if
will.
we see anything.
Mm, just, just the hellos for now. Looks like.
All right, cool. Well, let's jump in. Tonight's topic is not written in cement. So this is not scripture. This is not written in cement. If you would like to debate it, excellent, but bring researched debate.
hmm
Okay? Bring clinical, scholarly debate. And I'm all for it. If it's just he say, she said, and I swear to goodness, I, I won't. I won't entertain it. I mean, it sounds good, and again, it's not because I'm right, but my information, along with Coach K, we're coming from stuff we've learned in different settings. So either book settings, life experience, blah 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 blah, but put all together, and we're presenting to you professional information. First
Right.
question I usually ask Coach K, and I'll ask you first, not that you have to have the answer, but who are
hmm
you? Who are you?
That is such a good question.
Hmm.
Well, I'm Katie. I could say all this stuff written on like my ID,
Right?
but I'm, I guess, a 28-year-old human being
Hmm.
who, because I'm good, I'm used to this stuff, so I'm not gonna go to the past. At least I'm
All
not.
right. Okay.
I'm not gonna go to the past. I'm someone who loves, I guess, the brain. neuropsychology.
Hmm.
Who am I? Um, hmm. I guess I'm someone who, hmm, I don't know. I don't know how which route we want to go with this.
Hmm. No, I just wanted to know who you feel or
Who I
believe
am?
you are.
I guess I would just say like I'm a coach who works with young people. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. I'm a wife. Still not used to that. It's crazy. I'm a I would say I'm a Christian, follower of Jesus.
Hmm.
I'm a I love cats. I have cats. Cat mom. I'm a student. Um, for just to name a few, I guess that's what I would
Okay,
say for
fair,
now.
fair enough.
What
I
about
have
you?
this is kind of cliche, generic.
Yeah.
I'm a product of my environment. That's who I am. Meaning, you said you are a cat lover. How did you become a cat lover? How did you even know what a cat was?
Yeah, I grew up with cats.
So you grew up with cats,
We had a
yep.
bunch. Yep.
Hmm. I heard you say you follow Jesus.
Mhm.
Okay, so how did you start following? Did you ever meet? I'm not. It sounds like
But
I'm being.
no, you're fine. No, you're fine.
It sounds like I'm being silly. Did you meet him?
Not physically.
Not physically, right?
Right. Yeah, no.
But
This is
you are a
business.
believer,
Uh-huh. Yep.
okay, and a believer in what you've heard.
Heard, read,
Hmm.
um, I guess seen could be not like well, but then again, that's
Right.
subjective, like miracles and stuff, but yeah.
And miracles, testimony. Yep,
Mhm.
you've seen things. Fair.
Yeah, senses.
Hmm. The reason I ask that is because a lot of people, if you think about it from birth
Mhm.
to five, whose time are you on? How can you eat? It's a pet. I mean, a pet will eventually tear up your house or do whatever or find some food,
Friggin' better
but
not.
we couldn't eat until our parents fed us or someone
Right, right.
totally dependent. So I would say from 0 to 5, we're 100% of whoever's taking care of us.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And 5 to 10, we're like the human remotes. Uh, get the paper for me. Warm this up. Tell your sister. Get your brother. Turn the channel. I mean, like the not a slave, just a still doing for someone else,
Yeah, going to school, those things too.
right? Oh, check this
Yeah.
out. Where do we learn love? What age would you say you learn love?
What love is or like
Hmm.
how okay.
However
This is very
I'm just going to
philosophical
say
almost,
what
but yeah.
I know, right? And I want to
Well,
see people put in the chat, what is your definition of love? What
oh
is your
man.
definition of love?
How I like to look at love, I guess I believe it's an emotion, but you have to have we need
I
that
hope you never
contrast.
I hope you never told your husband an answer like that. Well,
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 I what is love? So from like the definition or how do I know what it is, I guess.
either one. Webster says, and Webster was just a person, but
Right. What
Webster
does Webster say?
dictionary says a deep, ineffable feeling of affection and tenderness.
Well, how do you know what affection and tenderness is,
I've
But
never
yeah,
said to my boo, I've got that deep, ineffable feeling for you.
right.
But that's the definition by Webster.
That's a good start. That's a
What
good place
does
to start.
love mean to you? Anyway, just something to think about because we're taught to love. We
Mm-hmm.
swear up and down we love. I can ask a room full of people, do you know what love is? Yeah, yeah. And then when we get to the definition, they have their own love is what you make it.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
they
then
do.
I
Yeah.
ask, how can you do what you don't know what is? How can you do what you don't know what is? So you make it up.
Yeah.
And you make it up based on whose or what conditions. Whose and what conditions?
Your
Is
parent
it
well.
your, just something to think about. 5 to 10 on someone else's time or someone else's mission,
Mm-hmm.
goals. Parents. And I'm going to say parents parent the kid that they want and not the kid that they have
Right.
in
Right.
most cases. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
10 to 13, puberty kicks in.
Pruning, right?
A lot of questions, hair, this, that,
Mm-hmm.
thoughts. Okay. Still not quite sure if I know who I am during the stage of puberty. 13 to 18, what are we doing? What do you hear? You work
13.
with teens and preteens. What do you hear people are doing as far as figuring themselves out? What are they doing?
They're trying to.
Hmm.
They're trying to fit in,
Hmm.
but in fitting in, you're just trying to find where your place is, I guess, in the world.
Hmm. But what does that look like? In most cases, what have you experienced? What does that for them? What are they saying that looks like?
Um, well, I'm thinking of being adventurous, risky behavior, trying to maybe get the answers, whatever that might be their intention from the actions. Mm, is that what you're?
Sure. I mean, I think the teens that I work with, they're trying to see if their values align with school friends or people
Yeah,
compared to or with their home, family, church. They're trying to figure out their value system.
because they can start thinking like that now
Hmm.
because of
Hmm.
where their brain development is. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah.
So far we've gone from 0 to 18, but not anything too deep. Just I want to highlight from 0 to 18, birth to 18. I haven't heard, and you can present if you like, and the people in the chat, if you want to tell us, I haven't heard yet much about the person having their own identity. 0 through 5, totally dependent. 5 to 10, being a kid, doing what school says, doing what parents say, family says. 10 to 13, puberty kicking in. 13 to 18, friends, competing, developing, growing, checking out your value system against the family value system.
In the world, yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
It's
Love.
external almost.
Everyone that I talk to learn love. This I always joke when I do this, but the baby, oochie coochie boo, I love you, oh, I love you, poochie poochie
See,
poochie boo, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Until one day, guess what we say in return? I love you
yeah, yeah, yeah. My cats don't say that to me though, but yeah.
too. Any baby that has heard it over and over and over to the time can speak, they say, I love you too.
Mm-hmm.
And then most parents, not all, but most parents, then add conditions to that. I've witnessed a 3 year old going to bed, and the parents say, hey, 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 where are you going? Really? I don't get a hug. I don't get a kiss. I don't get any love.
Mm-hmm.
What 3 year old you think was going to bed? Oh, oh, damn. Almost forgot to tell you I love you.
None.
5 through 10. We don't go to bed mad at each other. You tell me you love me. I love you. Kisses. We start giving gifts. Can I get a so and so? You are lucky I love you. You are lucky I
Mhm.
love you. Is that love? For me, those are conditions. Love equals a gift. From the time the baby was getting their butt wiped, oh, you went to stinky? Oh, you went to stinky? Oh, but I love you. You said, do I love you? You went to stinky? A
Yep.
2-year-old still in diapers, we'll say maybe even 3, when you start to really start to process some stuff. 4 to 8 is when you really know. But let's say a 3-year-old and you say, oh, you went to stinky, but I still love you. We just planted a seed that you went stinky and I still love you. You can mess up, I will still love you. You can be foul, I will still love you. We go on this belief. And because I don't want to disappoint your love,
Mhm.
I start engaging in this thing called lies. Whenever we feel in default of duty or sin, lie. And I love when people say, I never would lie. I never lie. There's not a, I've met everyone in the world. There's not a person that I know of that has never, ever lied. And you know who I can tell lies the most? Are the ones who get most upset about it. Oh, I swore, I hate, don't lie to me. those are the those are the number one. They seem to lie the most. Whenever we feel in default of duty or sin, we will lie. We learned to lie even before we knew the word.
Mhm.
Catch a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old with a cookie in their hand, crumbs and crap all over the lips and face, and ask them, hey, is that a cookie in your hand? They will look you square in the eye. First, first they have to buy some time. Huh?
Right, right. Gosh, adults do that too, right?
Is that a cookie in your hand? No. That's a lie. I don't care how cute or how white it is. It is a lie. And we master that and perfect that as we grow.
Mhm.
Master it and perfect it as we grow. Why? Why do you think people lie? Other than what I just said, why do you think people might act in default? What
Like
do you think?
lying
Either from what you heard or your
because
own people that you know.
they don't want to upset that person,
hmm
or
Why
they
not?
don't
Why would I not want to upset someone?
because then you're not, well, for example, with a love, they're not going to have that love by
hmm
chance. They're not going to have
hmm
that acceptance maybe,
hmm
which outside of those who are closest to us, that acceptance feels is almost as powerful as love. But obviously, being accepted in the group, you don't love those people. But we also lie maybe because we don't want to face whatever it is. It can be so many different things. It's usually something to do. It's, well, most of the time always with us
hmm hmm
and what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
The clients I work with,
Mhm.
they lie for a few pieces. There are a few things that they want to hold on to. They don't
Mhm.
want to lose a person.
Mhm.
They don't want to have someone not trust them. They don't want to lose their acceptance, and they don't want to feel rejection.
Mhm.
They don't want to feel rejection.
Yep. That's a
All
big
right.
one.
hmm Most clients that I see for therapy or coaching,
Mhm.
they want me to fix the other person. I get
Yep.
parents who bring me teens and say, fix them. I get wives who see me and say, fix my husband. And I get husbands to see me and they say, tell her I'm right,
Right.
or help
Yep.
her understand who I am. And what I invite people to do, I want to draw it, is to draw a tree if you want. I'm going to take you through an exercise, draw a tree. And while I'm doing that, you want to give out any shots out to, I see some people who are here. Trey's
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'll look at the
Teros,
people.
yep. What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
Ruckus. These are just names I know. But go ahead. If you
Yeah.
give out some shots, I want to build up
Yeah.
the
Then you'll
crowd.
draw your tree. So
Mm-hmm.
Trey, Mo's
So, ladies in the
Gaming.
house.
Yeah, looks like Sandra. Hello, Sandra. We have Ruckus or JC. We have Marcus, Tarus, Trey. You said Trey.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we have Black David in the back. We have World Class. Thank you for posting those links. We have Lady Novoa, my favorite.
Hey, what's
She's the
up? What's up?
best. Yeah, so thank you guys all for being here. Um,
Cool.
this is good
All
stuff.
right. I
Got your
want,
tree?
yeah, I got my tree. And if you, oh, I got the background on. Let's see how I can,
You might if you put
oh,
something behind it, maybe. I don't
oh,
know.
let's,
Or your hand. Well,
I don't
yeah,
know about all this technology. Hopefully,
it's coming up when it was further. Yeah,
there, bam, right there. See that
yeah,
tree?
yeah,
All right. It has some roots to it.
yeah.
And then the branches up top.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if you guys, whoever wants to do it, draw a tree. It doesn't have to
Mm-hmm.
be as fancy as this, but just draw a tree. And what we're going to be talking about over this series is about who are you? What is the relationship with yourself? And in order to figure that out, one of the things I want to take us through is an exercise. It's not anything therapy. Anyone can do this, but it's an exercise to help figure out where your growth started, where your belief system started, where your values started, how you may have become narcissistic, how you may have become what's the buzzword now? What they call toxic, and how you may have become angry, defensive. Let's name some positives. Super loyal. This sounds negative, but what they call a people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say no. You
Mm-hmm.
overextend. All right. So we're going to figure out how did some of
That's a
that come
lot of
about.
those.
All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you draw this tree, and there are a few questions I want to think about. If you grew up in a home where you witnessed arguing, if you grew up in a home where you witnessed arguing, down in the bottom of where the roots are,
Mm-hmm.
down in the bottom where the roots are, if you would, who you witnessed being the aggressor and who you witnessed being the victim. So who you witnessed being the aggressor and you can just put like, I'll just do the traditional uh, D for dad. We'll say the abuser, M for mom, M for mom, V for victim. We'll just do the traditional. If you've ever been hit as a child, like if you consider the spanking was too hard or you really got one. If you deserved it or not. If you deserved it or not. Then if you've been sexually abused, physically abused, verbally, emotional, psychological, or neglected. By who? By who? Just put the name, but a title, cousin, uncle, mom, dad, friend, neighbor, or Tim or whatever. Just put that down in the roots, down in the roots. And just leave it there for now. But just know what the letters stand for. Just know what the letters stand for. All right. Any questions?
Do you think? Anything could be coming up for people right now as we kind of explain this exercise.
Yeah, let's see what are people saying.
Well, and I'm also wondering too, even if they don't put it in the chat, I mean, they are saying some things in the chat, but whether it's people who don't want to think about it, maybe.
Oh, that's cool. They don't want to. I mean, if they don't want to think about the abuse, um, but we're just
No,
thinking. I
well,
just want
just
you
that
to.
it happened, like, do you think
Mhm.
that anyone would possibly want to, like, avoid that? But it's still important to, you know what I mean, to
Mhm.
consider because of obviously what you'll explain later on, I'm sure. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Just to kind
Yep.
of like
It's just an inventory. So if
mhm.
if you don't want to think of the abuse, that please don't open the can of worms, and especially if you're not able
Yeah.
to process or to talk to anyone. Again, we're not going to do therapy over
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
over the.
yeah.
So this is just inventory for you to think about experiences you might have had
Yeah, yeah,
as a
yeah.
child. hmm and again, you can name some fun ones too. So you can name, who did you feel the most loved by? Who did who did you laugh the most with? All right. Fun, loved. Who did you feel the safest with? And who did you feel that was the most proud of you? Who was the most proud of
Mm.
you?
That's a good question.
hmm And then let's do this. There's a video. I'm going to act it out. Sorry, there's a video. But again, because I can't control who sees it and how they may respond to it. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
there's a video that I'm going to act out, and so let me give the warning. It is it is how can I put it? It might like, whoa, it might provide, it's going to be
Trigger?
shocking. Yeah, it might trigger. Thank you. It might trigger some folks. So if you don't like to
Because of
talk
like
about,
your acting or because of what you're going to act out?
because either they are going to connect the feelings with me,
Oh, okay. Okay.
or they may have witnessed it, or they may have
Okay.
experienced it. All right.
Okay, I gotcha. I was like, "Are you saying you're a really bad actor?"
Oh, no,
Okay, I
no.
gotcha.
So trigger, yes. Trey, thank you. Trigger alert.
Yeah.
Um, and then now here's the balance, because some will say, well, don't do it if you think you're going to trigger us, but I can't tell who's going to be triggered and who not.
Right, right.
But I want to talk. I'll make some generic ones.
Okay.
When I grew up, Michael Jackson was the big thing, and my parents would have me dance, always dance. They have company, do that dance, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do it,
Mhm.
do it. So they had me
Mhm.
perform, and that brought me good feelings. Like I made them happy. I
Mhm.
made them happy. I made them happy. So if you look at that tree that you drew,
Yeah.
I want you to think about, at what point would I get disappointed in life? Let's say later in life, I feel disappointment. And I want to draw a line between you feeling disappointed and being a performer. You feeling disappointed, like in the middle of the tree. You just put the word
Mhm.
disappointment, and then draw a line down to the roots. And the roots would be love to perform. Okay. And then let's name some problems. Let's name some problems. What type of problems do people have that lead them to feeling disappointed?
Not I mean, that's basic outcomes not turning out the way that they would want.
Like what? Name something for me. Or anyone listening in, if
Um,
you can think of a time someone or you felt disappointed, what was it about?
I'm thinking like if you're not selected, like I played sports, so maybe if you didn't make the team or you didn't get playing time
Okay. So
or
not
you messed
chosen.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if we drew a line down to when you performed, you either that person was either groomed or convinced that their performance made people happy, that their
Right.
performance was something good. If you don't make the team, that goes opposite of your belief that you can do and you are a good performer. And that
Yeah.
leads to confusion. It's confusing. I used to, and I was asked, and I could. So why am I being told no? It becomes confusing.
Mhm.
Okay, that's just one small example. If you are a kid that likes attention, but your parents are busy, not now, wait, talk to me later. I'm busy. I'm tired. At school, you raise your hand and you don't get picked.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll put that down below. Not feeling heard. Not feeling heard. If you go up higher, the part of us that didn't feel heard, to
Mhm.
make sure they feel heard, it might sound like this. So I'm gonna make some clapping noise. Swear to God, no, hey, hey, no, listen, listen, swear. I don't know if you know people who talk like that, or they bang the table when they talk. No, listen, listen,
Mhm. Mhm.
because down below,
Mhm.
they've experienced not feeling heard. And now the protector in them, and we'll get into that another time. There's a protector in
Mhm.
all of us. There's a witness, a victim, and protector. Not multiple personalities, not multiple personalities, but the protector in us, the man in us, the woman in us, or the
Mhm.
non-gender person in us. They feel that no way in the world am I going to let the little one in me feel that again. The little boy in me will never feel that ignored feeling again. And
The
without even
root
realizing
part.
it, in the middle of a group conversation, no, y'all not listening to me. What hey, listen, I'm trying, hey, calm down. And what do most people say? I am calm
Right.
because the protector is taken off from where the little kid left off. So if the little kid left off, then the protector starts there.
Right.
The little kid left off, hey, hey, hey. The protector takes off from there, like, hey, hey, hey. Okay. So, again, connecting what happened in the younger years and what does that protector do so you don't feel that again? What does the protector do so you don't feel that again? In most cases, it would do the opposite, but much more aggressively. If you felt neglect as a child,
Mhm.
some people isolate and they say, "Oh, I've always been a loner. I've always been alone. I've always been quiet." But the opposite of neglect is to be seen, to be heard, to be included.
Yep.
You don't have to take my word for it. Just ask people you know. Just ask people you know. What was their childhood like? And then think about their current, their current behavior and see if they match. Just with this tree. All I do is draw a tree.
And you're saying a line from the root
Mhm.
to basically is what they're, because I brought up a tree right now.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's
Perfect. Yeah, that's where all that stuff is down there. What we call the causes. So if you want to write the word cause, all right, down in the roots is the word cause. What caused all this? What were the
I
seeds?
have a
What were the seeds? And then in that bark, or that, the middle of the tree between the roots and the branches, is
yeah.
where I would put is where I would put the word problem. Problems. What problems do you have?
I'm gonna grab my. I have a board actually. I'm gonna grab it.
Oh, cool, cool. Let me see what's going on here. Yes, the food channel, that is a usual situation. Not heard, not getting selected, not being chosen, having to fight for your spot. Not always physically fight, but, and as adults, we say, what? I have to work. I know for me as a black man, I have to work 2 to 3 times harder than the average person just to be at the normal baseline, whatever normal is, just to be at the normal baseline. Then again, if I take away the race part of it, and I looked at what is it that I'm doing that I need to be heard about. So what is it that I'm doing? So when I'm competing for money, when I'm competing for status, when I'm competing for certain things like that, there are certain networks that make it clear you don't matter. You don't count because of this and that situation, in addition to my race. But without even using the race card, there are certain things with this tree. And people get uncomfortable when I say this part. When I work at a treatment place and people come into treatment, they name these issues that they have because they're blind or a black woman or non-gender, and I say, here's what I want you to do, and they hate when I say this. I want you to hang your blackness at the door. And like I said, people get mad, like, fuck you, what do you? I said, bear with me. I had a client one time who had a hard time with transitions. Hard time with transitions. And he said, because they don't transition well because of them being black, them being black, and them being black. I said, man, that's messed up. We did this exact same exercise. I said, tell me the first time you remember not being heard or having a hard transition. And they took me back to when they were 6 years old. And they said, my mom moved from California to North Carolina. Okay. I had to leave my friends. I had no say so, no choice. I had to accept the transition. So, based on this exercise, if that's down in the roots, it wasn't even about them being black at that time. When they first developed the idea of having hard transitions, not being listened to, not being heard, not having a choice, not having a vote in the matter, had nothing to do with them being black. It only got worse as they grew in life and race became a larger issue for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. But when they first had that stigma in the brain, where they first had that schema in the brain, where they first developed that belief system that I do not have a voice, is when they were in that backseat of the car driving away from their friends, going all the way across the country, and they had no say so. That's where it was established in their brain that they have no voice and they have to transition if they like it or not. And no matter what the race is, that just compounds, that just adds things. But to get to the layers underneath that, yep, because you're black, you struggle. Yep, because you're a woman, you struggle. Yep, because you don't feel like you fit with any of those genders, you struggle. Yep, because your laugh bothers people, you struggle. Yep, because you're the tallest, you struggle. Yep, because you weigh the most, you struggle. Yep, because you're the tiniest, you struggle. I mean, do you hear all these barriers that go on top of the original never had any say, never had a vote. Mom, do we have to leave? Get in the car. Let's go. On top of, I mean, under status, money, race, boom, 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 boom. Okay, does that make sense? Let's see. Are we?
Yeah, I think people are think it makes sense so far. You said right here will be problems.
Yes, yes. Put the word problems right there underneath the branches, right there. Yes, exactly. Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
All right. Now that's where most people you would think that they go to therapy and get help for. You would think it would be for those problems, but that's not where people are recognizing issues.
It's up there, right?
Yes. So up in the branches. So
Yep.
let's name some problems. Let's look at the audience to see what we have. And are people hitting
I'm
those
gonna make
like
this the
buttons?
grass.
I'm putting
What is
down
this?
platinum, man. Look at my website. This is almost overflated my price. $400 an hour. Look at my website. This is $400 an hour. And Coach K, you don't have to name your prices because mine is more about license stuff. But we are throwing out nuggets. See, I heard a few people on this Black Man's Unfiltered Network talk about the shows that get all blah 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 blah, and those guys are throwing out nuggets too. Real
Mhm.
life situations throwing out nuggets to help people. But we get
Mhm.
so caught up sometimes in the drama of the show that we lose the pieces. We get so caught up in what's being said or not said and not feeling heard. Hint, hint, not feeling heard, that we miss the entire show, right?
Right.
So
Right.
we're not going to have all the theatrics and all that. We're just giving the raw. And again, you don't have to. It's not written in cement. I'm just giving you some clinical perspectives,
Mhm.
and you can always search it in case you feel that it's not accurate. All right.
Mhm. Mhm.
What are some problems? Did some people name some problems?
So these are problems
Yes,
that they see a
sorry,
therapist for, you said?
sorry. Someone said 2017 prices. Yes, and that's another whole story too. Because I used to only charge like when people would come in. Oh, I don't have money. I don't have money. Okay, and I would go all the way down to $20.
Yeah.
No more, because I didn't know my value. I didn't. I was always competing. I was always defining and explaining my value. I don't need to ever justify my value. Never. All
Is
right,
that
let's talk
up
about
here?
those branches. No, no, no. Oh,
No,
the
is
food
that what
channel.
you were doing?
Oh yes. No, no, no. Because if you ever hear
I'm
me
just
speak
kidding.
on these shows, if you ever hear me speak on these shows, because I too went through this exercise. So some
Right.
people know my
I
story,
gotcha.
some don't. Yeah. So
I
I
gotcha. I gotcha.
actually, yeah. So many times I name my truth. It
Yeah,
may not be pretty, but I name. But yes, I spent decades up in those branches. Uh, but now I have to name the truth. To be honest with myself. All right.
for
So did we
sure.
get anyone? Did we get anyone to give us some problems?
And you want
Come on,
problems that
or what they
like
think is
that they
problems.
just have?
Yeah, anybody, any name some problems. They don't have to be a relationship, any kind, any kind.
What's a problem? When you think of
And
a
where are we
problem,
with
like
our
what do you think of?
likes? We're at 20.
Oh,
Come
let me
on, come on. Let's go, let's go. Let's get those likes up. We're dropping down platinum nuggets.
yeah.
Do
Everyone
nuggets come in
says it.
platinum?
What do you say?
Do nuggets even come in platinum?
I don't know. But
All right.
everyone says that YouTube is toxic or that no one's talking about solutions or anything like that, but
Yes.
we're
Yes.
giving you some good stuff here. So,
Now, and in case you're wondering, oh, well, Coach K wins her part. I'm just giving some foundation stuff, but then what Coach K specializes in, if you could correct me if I'm wrong,
mhm.
now that we got there, what do we do next? Right? Would that be
Mhm.
fair to say? All right, so I'm just
Yeah,
giving kind of the background, like the roots and blah 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 blah. When we get to the part of now, like how do we move forward and what type of strategy should I do and da da da. You will
yeah.
definitely have more involved with Coach K. So just so you
Oh,
know,
I love all of
yep.
those, and plus
All right.
it makes sense for sure.
Just letting your fans know. What's this?
Yeah, you know.
What's Good Deer Park? Author is a problem. Sleeping on the couch when married. Yes, yes. Let's use that. I love it.
And
Sleeping on the couch
Tarus has
when
one
married.
too.
Who?
We can use, Tarus, he says, I have a very bad habit of finding reasons to stay inside.
All right. I didn't even see that when I was looking for the ones that were in that super chat. Where are the ones that are in the super chat? That's what I
They
was looking
haven't
for.
super chatted.
Oh, okay. I thought there were some super chats. I was looking for that orange banner.
Nope,
Orange
not
banner.
yet. But
But all right.
yeah.
All right. So I did get pretty stoked about sleeping on the couch. Let's see those super likes. Okay. Up top in the branches, we'll put sleeping on the couch.
Still
Up, way
eyes
up in the branches. Yep, right in there, in the
in the
sky, in the
blue.
sky.
Okay.
Yes, sleeping on the couch.
Can you see that? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
No, sleeping on the couch.
Oh, I just put on couch on the.
No, sleeping.
That is sleeping.
Mm,
What does it look
you
like?
sure?
Yeah. Sleeping? I know my handwriting is terrible when I do stuff on my board really quick.
Is that an S?
Yeah, right here?
Yeah. What about the N? Is that a G?
Yeah.
I'm
Please
messing
tell
with
me
you.
you're
All right, all right.
please tell me you're joking right now.
Because we're going to put that too. Feeling played. Would you put that up there also? Mm, mm, right? Yeah, feeling played. All
I'm gonna write in lowercase. I write better in lowercase.
right. Yep. So sleeping on the couch.
Hopefully that shows. Ooh, I'll move
All
my
right.
board down.
We said, well, what's the problem with sleeping on the couch? And I'm married. What's the problem? Hmm? My partner wants to spend time with me. My wife wants to spend time with me. Husband wants to spend time with me. I'm tired. So what would we need help about? Why would we be getting help? If you're the wife, Coach K, and or I could be the wife and you could be the husband, but uh,
What's
we've
a
we've gone to get help. You're tired that you're upset that I don't give you any time or attention.
yeah.
I can't give you time and attention if I'm asleep.
Yeah. That
All right,
person
so
just put
on the
detachment.
side, like by the word problems, but not in the bark. On the
Mhm.
side, put time and attention. Yep, perfect. Right on the side. Yep, time and attention. Thinking about love language. Love language. If your thing is time,
Mhm.
already we see a problem. If my wife, husband, or other love language is time, already ding, 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 we have a problem. I'm already violating, already hurting, I'm already disrespecting one of their needs, wants, and desires.
Right.
Okay. But I'm taught, we'll go with the husband first. I'm taught to work, maintain, support. So when do I get to sleep? So on the other side of the tree, would you put the word fair? Fair. Because while I'm thinking that, this is another problem people have. If you think about the word disrespect or respect, so many people say, I just want someone to respect me. I just want someone to respect me. If you ask in the chat right here, please tell me your definition of the word respect. In the chat, please
Mm,
put your definition of the word respect. Definition of the word respect. Definition of the word respect. If we can get 5 answers, 5 answers.
man, I'm thinking too.
Definition of respect. And can we get those likes up? We got 20, we have 23. Whatever she feels. Whatever she feels is the definition of respect. Respect is treating others kindly, all right, and with dignity. All right, three more, three more, three more definitions. Coach K, what did you say yours was?
I'm thinking of, I don't have a full one, but something with consideration,
All right,
like
consideration.
careful consideration, maybe
All right, okay. So consideration and treating others
honor.
kindly and with
Uh,
dignity. What's I'll pause and wait. I know it's just
y-
it's this the definition of respect. Here we go. We
oh,
have a super
Tarus.
like.
Thank
Teros,
you,
thank
Tarus.
you, thank you, thank you. Super like respect is when you take someone at their word, even in a chance that they could be wrong because you respect their process. Some of you
Mhm.
are offering respect here on the show because you respect the process or listening to us. You might have some difference of opinions, but you respect it and respect us.
Yeah,
Thank you, Teros.
yeah,
If you notice, we already have three different answers for the
right,
same word.
right.
We have three different answers, and one of them through a super like. We have
Yep.
three different answers for the same word. Do you know you and I, Coach K, could be in a relationship? And I think I'm respecting you this way, but your version of respect is this way. And we are
Mhm.
actually disrespecting each other, thinking that we are respecting each other. Not enough couples or people talk about their definition of respect.
They think it's just whatever
They think
theirs
that
is,
everyone,
that's
that
what yours
yours is
is.
mine. How many times have you watched on these shows? Someone is, hey, can I? Why are you disrespecting me, bro? Let me get in. And another person is like, talk. No,
Right,
but you
right,
keep cutting. Right? They have two. The one who says talk, I'm not getting my feelings hurt that you're yelling at me. You know how many people
right,
watch the shows and go, oh my gosh, they're abusive. When others are like, that's how we get down.
right, right,
That's how we get down.
right.
Please don't ever watch this network and feel so sad and so bad. That is how we get down.
Mhm, mhm,
Okay, now that being said, if we go back to that tree,
mhm.
my version of respect might be that you actually let me get rest.
Right.
Your version of respect might be, I know you're tired, but you go that extra mile. Because if I look through the lens of a wife, because I did the husband first, so if I look through the lens of a wife, cook, clean, take
Mhm.
care of the kids, take care of the house, take care of you, make sure my body is available to you, uh, offering nurturing, emotional support. I didn't even get to get her hair done, her nails done, for her to sit down, for her to get a body massage. I didn't even get to that.
Right,
So, do you not think I'm tired as well?
right.
We can get into the word duty. But before we go off into that rabbit hole about duty, let's go back down into the roots. What did we see growing up? Do you know if the husband that I'm talking about in this example, if they're the
Mhm.
oldest child or they're the doer, the doer, the doer, the doer, part of the reason we're now having this session is because I am tired.
Mhm.
When I hear people say, all my life, that's a sign that this stuff starts down in the roots.
Mhm.
They've been doing this for a long time. If you run into people with short patience, they're tired of the excuse. I don't have time. You're not even serious. You're not even for real. They're tired. So the
Yep.
one on the couch, has that person been asked, what's making you so tired? And that person who's tired, if they follow the roots,
Mhm.
what is so let's think about what is a problem that would lead to me sleeping on the couch? What is a problem that would lead to me sleeping on the couch?
So is this person sleeping on the couch because they fell asleep, or like they don't want to sleep in bed?
I have a few different versions that I worked with. I worked with clients who The family, there's too much right now going on. I need to be away. I need a break. I work with some who isolate. They don't even realize they're doing this. They have their
Yeah.
own section of the, okay. They feel exhausted. They need a break. They need to be away. There are a
I'm
lot of people
thinking
who, go ahead.
they don't say no enough, maybe.
Oh, they don't say enough. Yes, right. They remember they're tired. They always
They're
do, and they're
yeah.
tired. Also, I
Yeah.
know people who get married, and just before the marriage stage, they have a lot of energy. Before they get married, they have a lot of energy. Uh, they have attention skills off the roof. But once they get married and their wife is secure, like a cabinet and a key, I don't have to worry so much. I don't have to do so much. That's one version. And then let me tell you about the other version. The wife who, down in the roots, didn't have a father around. The wife who, down in the roots, felt like she didn't get enough love and attention. And it only takes a nanosecond. It only takes a nanosecond for her to feel that.
Mhm.
We had two good parents, blah, blah, blah. It only takes a nanosecond to feel that. So if I had two good parents and they both worked, let's use this example.
Mhm.
Two good parents that worked. And I'm aware of time. We're not going to go too much longer. I want to piece all this together to wrap up our part one. But dad is going to work, and I say, Dad, will you please take the day off? And dad says, ugh. That's two versions. Dad either says, get the hell out of here, move. Or you get
Right.
the, sorry, I got to go. Little did we know, dad just planted a schema in the brain called abandonment and neglect.
Mhm.
Dad didn't know it, and the kid didn't know the words. 5-year-old didn't know the words. But when we were told no at 5, because between the ages of 4 and 8, the Dr. Yahoos said, this is when it boom. Abandonment and neglect is in the back of my mind. I doubled down with mom. Mom, not the whole day, but would you just take like 1 hour off?
Mhm.
Coach K, if I asked you if I'm your kid, I think we did this before. If I asked you,
Oh
Mom,
yeah,
would you stay home
why?
for 1 hour, please? And you know I have to work. And I ask you, because the kids say the darndest things, why do you have to work so much? What would you say?
For you.
Yep. To what? Feed me?
Yeah, to take care of
And
you,
what
to
if
send
I
you to
said this?
school.
Yeah. What if I said, Mom, I'd rather starve to death. I'd rather get 1 hour with you, even if it means I have to starve to death.
Mhm.
For a 5-year-old, death, I'm willing to die just to get 1 more hour with you. And when you walk out that door, even if you said, oh, or if you said, get the hell out of my way, either way, when you left, in my brain, not only did I double down the feelings of abandonment, neglect, but I also said I would die and you left anyway. There's a belief, there's an internal belief system that barked that I'm going to grow believing I am not good enough. I am not good enough. Okay. So if the wife in this situation, or I said I was talking about the husband and the wife, let's say
Mhm.
whatever, whoever, but if the other person believed they were not good enough and they
Yeah.
didn't get enough time or attention, it would have nothing to do with the husband falling asleep on the couch and everything to do with I don't get enough time. All
Mhm.
my life, they weren't available for me. Dad wasn't
Mhm.
home. Mom wasn't home. Seems like no one ever cares. You get home and you fall asleep. So the expectation of the time and resources and energy is higher than the average person for the one down in the roots who felt neglected, abandoned, hurt, missed, rejected, and not good enough.
Mhm.
He might be getting the blame. Dang, you don't ever give me. I mean, he's like, what? Come on now. I didn't mean to fall asleep. He has good
Right.
intentions. Hey, baby, and we're going to watch the movie. Uh huh. Dang, you
Right.
always fall. Now, back to the husband
Right.
who, every time he tries, he's accused of failing. Let's go back down in that roots. What did we talk
Mhm.
about? Oh, we don't have much there, but I was talking about if you felt hit or if you were abused, if you
Oh,
felt like
yeah.
you weren't enough, you weren't enough, you weren't enough, you weren't enough. Do you know every time the wife sucks her, that's another slap in the face. Every time she says, "Oh wow, for real? Move your arm. For real, you fell asleep." That's another slap in the face. Every time she even hints, "You want to hang? Oh, let me guess, you'll be too tired." That's another slap in the face that I've always been told I'm not good enough, and I'm sorry that I worked all day and I can't stay awake. But they're not addressing it that way. They only address it up in the branches, which is he won't stay awake. And most therapists will say, "What can you do this week to give an extra hour? What can you do this week to see if you can stay awake? What can you do to acknowledge that maybe he's sleepy?" And that's good. That is awesome. That is
But
what,
still just addressing this and not this,
yes,
which
yes.
is
In fact,
temporary.
not even addressing the real problem.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
We're
yeah.
not even addressing the real problem. The real problem is the reason I am quick to fall asleep is because I don't even know if I can ever be enough for you.
Right.
I don't know if I can even do enough for you because of
Mhm.
one person's inadequacy.
Mhm.
That's the problem. The problem is to deal with their level of inadequacy. I have to deal with his level of not being there enough for me, like when I was a kid. That's the problem. But they're only addressing the stuff up top. What was the other one we wrote? And this is not a joke this time. Feeling, oh, played.
Oh, feeling played.
Yes. Let me see if
What
there's
would you categorize this as? Like like
that up there is called I call that the symptoms. The symptoms.
okay. That's what I thought, but
Yeah. If I went to court, if I robbed somebody,
yeah.
the judge sees me as a robber. The
Right.
lawyer sees me as a robber.
Right.
But what's my true problem? So the
You
judge
can
sees me as a thief.
yeah.
The lawyers and everyone in the courtroom sees me as a thief. They just see the symptoms. The
Yeah.
reason I'm a thief is because my true problem is I don't have the resources. I don't believe I can have something. I feel like I don't have
Yeah.
enough. My
Y-
true problem is I'm a person who feels like I don't have enough, so I take it from others.
Yeah.
My true problem is I'm a bully. My true problem is I'm a boom. That's my true problem. And because of
Mhm.
this problem, I fall asleep on the couch. Because of this problem, I often feel played. Because of this problem, boom. Because of this problem, boom. Because of this problem, boom. And where did I get this problem from? Boom. What was the cause of this? How did I become this way? How did I become, how did I get this feeling of inadequacy? Boom. Narcissistic. We'll close with this. And hopefully it's making sense. Tell me, throw in the chat if it's not making sense. And where are our likes at? Where are our likes?
Um
Support the channel. We're at 25. Can we
yeah.
please get to 30? Can we get to 30?
That would be great.
Get to
Yeah.
30. All right. And we got no other questions here about this part so far. Any questions so far about this?
I don't think so, but I have a question. And I hopefully I'm not jumping the gun here, but
Mhm.
because this well, of course to me, but I'm sure to the audience too because you've explained it so well, laid it out so well that this would come would just pathway basically. It's a root and it grows into that. Um but of course, we can't go back in time. We can't change other people. We can't,
Mhm.
go back to when this first was planted.
Correct.
So if I'm jumping ahead, let me know.
That's all right. I
So
mean, we can
now
ask it,
what?
but so now what?
So now what?
Well, let's use one of the examples, and we're saying I can't
Oh,
go back in time, right? So let's pick
yeah. So let's say the
what
sleeping
if
on
we
the
can't go
couch
back
one.
in time? Yep, sleeping on the
Yeah.
couch because I'm tired.
Yeah.
When we work hard, we're tired. That's natural. That's nothing psychic about it. If you're tired, you're tired. But
Right,
my
right.
question is, what are we doing to be so tired? Other than physically working. Because if you
Mhm.
really want to break it down, what's your health like? What's your nutrition like? What's your
Right.
sleep patterns like? Huh? If we really want to break it down, are you making love to your partner? You start at 7 p.m., end at 7:03, and then go in the computer room for 4 hours when you should go to
Mhm.
bed,
Right.
and then now it impacts your work day. So there's
Right.
there's even a root to why you're so tired. Why are you so tired? Oh, I do physical work, labor, not this sit down stuff. I'm a blue collar worker.
Yeah.
Okay. So then are you still taking care of yourself so you can do the blue collar work and still have some work life balance?
Right.
So what's going on in the life that you are so exhausted? So we can't change the roots, but
Mhm.
it goes back to the very topic of our show.
Mhm.
Once we understand who we are, then you respond accordingly to who you are. Once you raise your level of awareness and mindfulness, I'm a public speaker, comedian, black man, powerful in my own right, like in my industry, what they would could say powerful, doctor, all right, former rapper, MC such and such.
You gotta do our intro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I did it all. I did it all. Now that all sounds great, but why? Why do I have more degrees than a thermometer? Why? Why? Now people say you have to question why. That's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing. But when you're getting beat as a little kid and you're told you're a piece of shit, you're not going to be anything. When you're sitting still, trigger alert, trigger alert, trigger alert.
Mhm.
You're sitting still as a kid
Mhm.
and your mama is getting high, lacing her marijuana with cocaine, and for giggles, just, yes, ma'am. And even though I'm doing nothing, I'm not doing anything that's threatening her for her giggles.
Mhm.
So when you believe that you are not good enough, when you've endured pain, and you believe the only way you will be seen, now start adding those layers. The only way I can be seen as a person, the
Right.
only way I could be seen as a black man, the only way I could be seen as a, well, I've learned to become the ass clown. I make everyone laugh and giggle and laugh and hey, and now
Mhm.
attention is on me. I didn't
Mhm.
know it when I was doing that, and I still love being a comedian.
Right.
I didn't know it, but I'm the one making everyone laugh or to
Right.
keep you away, to keep you away. Or when I'm driving to a parking spot and I back in so I can always get out of a situation in 30 seconds if I need to. Or when I sit in a room, I don't let people stand behind me. Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm. So then add these layers. Maybe school's the way. Oh, you'll need a degree for this. Boom, I got two of them. You'll need a license for this. I got three of them. Now what? Now what? Now what? Your question? Now what? Now what? Now what? It's never enough.
Mhm.
Once I'm aware of that, there's another license out there. I failed the test, marriage and family therapy test to
Mhm.
become a licensed marriage and family therapist. So I did all the schooling, I did all my hours, practicum training, just had to pass the test to get the license. When I put all this together, and after I failed the test, I don't need to do it again. So the now what for this situation I just explained is to be
Mhm.
aware of why am I doing it in the first place? I can't change the past. But
Right.
I know my
Right.
current. I know
Right.
my current. I know my current. I know if I'm positioning myself for power and control. Because if I didn't have it as a kid, I demand to the point where I can command.
And you're
I walk
not
in a
just,
hmm
well, this is what happened,
hmm
right?
hmm hmm Now
It's a
some do surrender. Some do surrender,
mhm,
and that hurts.
right.
That
Yeah.
hurts.
That's
And
still gonna
some won't
have that.
surrender. Yes. The other day we were talking about sigmas, alphas,
There's
okay?
betas, right?
Yeah, and betas and all that.
Yeah, I don't get all that, but yeah.
Yeah. So I have clients who are poly. They date more
Mm,
than one.
mhm,
And I know one who actually had four boyfriends.
mm,
Okay. And they
mhm.
were in what they call a parallel relationship. So meaning they're just parallel. They just have they don't hang out together. It's just I know you have another man, I know you, and they were all
Okay.
considered alphas, the
Okay.
alpha in the relationship.
Oh, all the guys
All the
were the
guys,
alpha?
like, yep, she dated like what they call strong men.
Okay, okay, I gotcha.
And if we ever did hang out together, these guys would hang out and see me, who's not a, I'm not trying to get with her, but because of my confidence, my bringing the laughter, my woman was giggling because I'm her friend,
Mhm,
and you were worried about her giggling, but they perceive that as a threat because
mhm,
they know laughter is the way to her heart. They know
mhm,
laughter is this. They know, yep, and I know that as her friend, laughter is.
mhm,
Laughter is. So, all right, so how that's related,
mhm.
once you know yourself, you can't change the past, but
Right,
you can put yourself in situations where your future is safe, where you feel confident, where you feel comfortable. All right. All right. So we have one more question. We'll get to that because I know it's from our folks who've been with us the entire time. Hello,
mhm.
Miss AKA Lady. All right.
Yes, hello.
Um, what if you're married and want a divorce? Now, I'm not going to answer that one tonight, and especially because the first part of this, part one, is really just to introduce us to this idea of knowing yourself. Most of the
Mhm,
person is yourself.
mhm,
But I will say this before we go. Poly as in polyamorous, more than one, non-monogamous, dating more than one. Okay. If you want a divorce, if you use what we did today, again, it's not anything deep therapy, it's just a tool.
mhm,
If you go down to what the problem is, why are we talking divorce?
mhm.
Why are we talking divorce? You know, there was a time we lived where divorce was not going to happen. You stayed together no matter what.
Right.
Right? Oh, that was stupid. They were dumb. They didn't know. She was dependent, needed his money. People always had choices. They may not like the consequences, but people have always had choices. People getting killed in India trying to get a divorce, and when they find out, then when they find that woman, they bury her in the ground up to her head and throw stones and sticks and bust her in the head until she
Mm,
dies because she was trying to get away from a marriage. She
mhm.
knew when she ran away, a
Right,
potential choice was.
right.
Now, I'm not saying it's good. What I'm saying is there's always
Always yeah,
a choice. Always a choice.
always,
People in
yeah.
Africa, some parts of Africa, if you steal something, or the Middle East, if you steal something, they whack your hand. I'm talking about bam. In
Yeah,
some places, they actually chop it off. Whacker.
yep.
Now, the thief didn't discover that. The thief knew going into it what the possible consequences were.
Right,
But they felt that the need for whatever they were doing, the need outweighed the consequences. So when it comes to divorce, is there
mhm.
something in that tree that I need to branch away from? And is that need, can that be worked on? But remember, so many people work in the branches and they
Right.
don't address the problem or the cause, and then to get divorced and go to the very next relationship with the same problem. You
It's
can move
gonna
to
go out
Alaska, you're
another
going to
way.
take you with you. If you move to Alaska, you're going to take you with you.
Mhm. You take your mind with you, yep, wherever you
Yes,
go.
I moved 5 times here. Damn, 5 times. Landlord A didn't like me. Landlord B wouldn't take cash. Stop, 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 stop. You move, you moved 5 times in one year. Did all the landlords know each other? Was there a committee meeting?
Right.
These dudes need to quit playing. They need to know my worth. If you don't know your own, how was I continuing to get $20 clients? I wasn't presenting my worth and I didn't know my worth. Let's put it there. Let's see if you have any questions. Any questions?
Yeah, especially about today.
Because that stuff is cryptic. I mean, that's like, huh? Huh? So remember, this is not written in stone, not written in concrete. This is just a perspective, a clinical perspective using the tool to help figure out who we are and unravel some secrets. We're going to end up on somebody is going to leave this 3-part series and realize some secrets. You mean all this time has been because, oh my gosh, I'm 50 years old. You're a grown dude. You should know by now. We're going to unravel some secrets that you didn't know your entire life.
And we're
Or you
never
knew.
taught this.
Yeah. We I didn't know it for 30 years.
Right, right.
I didn't know it. And so again, it's just a tool to help discover who you are by based on the roots. I saw my mom
Mhm.
get drunk a lot, so I guess that's where I became an alcoholic. I'm going to challenge that. Put the drinking down in the roots. Mama drinking down in the roots. What
Mhm.
was she doing? She didn't pay much attention to me. She was too drunk to know any better. We were always fighting. That's
Mhm.
in the bark. So now what's your problem? Your problem is you didn't get the nurturing that you wanted. They were always fighting. Now, notice in this part here, you're not drinking. There
Right.
is no drinking in this part. I'm not talking about the 7-year-old who put some hair in their chest and had to drink. I'm not talking about that.
Right, right.
How is it that two alcoholics in the same house and you ask one, how come you are an alcoholic? Are you kidding me? I grew up in an alcoholic home. You ask the other that grew up in the same house, how come you're not an alcoholic? And they say, are you kidding me? I grew up in an alcoholic house. So it's not because mom was drinking or daddy was drinking, because their drinking was to cope. Their drinking was to cope. So when you start feeling unloved, not paid attention to, having constant arguments, blah, 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 then at some point you recognize that maybe I should cope by drinking.
Or what the other person did.
Or the other person did.
What
We'll
did
go
the
to
other
get
person
help.
do? Right,
Yeah,
right.
we'll go to get help and we'll say, yeah, I always saw my mama drinking. I think it rubbed off on me. Yes, it is in DNA, by the way. It is in our DNA. So it does pass along that way. But I want you to imagine an empty light bulb box
Mhm.
that's in your DNA, but you
Mhm.
have to put the light bulb in and you have to flick it on.
Mm.
Like me, I've never used drugs. I'm a nerd. Well, I don't want to put it down. I don't use drugs. I don't drink alcohol. But I
Mhm.
know addictions in my family. And when I swelled up to 350 pounds, it might not have been alcohol, it might not have been weed, but an addiction to food. Hello?
Right. So up in here,
Right? Up
if you
there.
try to address it this way, but
Hmm.
not here.
I'll just keep doing it. Imagine that tree, you trim it, it
Or
grows back.
like ivy. Oh my gosh.
It grows back. It grows back. Oh, we dealt with this in the bushes and we trimmed it. We feel better. Trauma does not cure. You cannot cure trauma. You can heal it.
Mhm.
You can temporarily satisfy it. It does not cure. I joke when I say this, but it's serious. It's like herpes.
Mhm. Mhm.
Herpes lives down in the spine, down in the tailbone. It lives there. And then when you have an outbreak, is wherever you have your body, that's where the outbreak is. Once the outbreak is over, the juice goes
Mhm.
back to the tailbone in the nervous system. Trauma lives in the brain.
Mhm.
The central nervous system, it lives in three parts of the brain. Three parts of your brain. So do you know you can be happy and still feel traumatized? You can feel happy and still feel traumatized. Coach K, you had a birthday and
Mhm.
I knew about it. You have a birthday and I know about it. And I get a bunch of friends and we throw you a surprise birthday party. Yeah! You're like, oh my God. And then our other friend, we find out their birthday party. Yeah! I'm like, oh wow. Notice I never told anyone my birthday. And one day your sneaky tail finds out my birthday. And then you and one of our other partners help to get me there. Dude, you need to come down. And I'm none the wiser because no one knows my
Mhm.
birthday. I
Mhm.
get down there, surprise! And you would think I'm excited. Bitch, you got me fucked up.
Right.
How'd you how'd you
Right.
find out my birthday?
Right.
Oh, I went through you one time when I feel violated.
I stole your
Dude, you
wallet.
lied to me, man. And they're like, calm down, man. It's just a birthday. Man, you fucking lied to me, man. You
Like, it's not
motherfucker.
that serious. Yeah.
Calm, yeah. But I'm Trump.
Right.
All right. Final thoughts. Final thoughts.
Someone did say, by the way, um, what is a healthy relationship was one. And
Mm-hmm.
then someone else said, if it is genetic, is it possible to ever be completely healed? So for future shows, we're not going to be answering questions technically, unless, like Tarus did, you super chat them. That way we can, save enough time to address it. And because this is very valuable information, but obviously to get you guys engaged. But just a heads up. But yeah, those
Yeah,
are the
we have to support the
questions.
channel. Thank you, Coach K.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We have to support the channel just for even us to be here to have
Mhm.
this conversation with you.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I totally agree, Coach K. We have no problem answering the questions, but let's get those in those banners.
Yeah,
Uh,
support Black Men
yep,
Unfiltered.
yep. So that I'll put the question out there, but we're going to present that in part two. So today is really just figuring out because the unraveling part are the roots. It's like a sycamore tree. The roots. We're going to start to unravel that stuff so you can see where this stuff comes from, so you can start to figure out who you are. Who you are. Why can't you say no? Why do you get so defensive? Why do you go from 0 to 60 like in 10 seconds? Why
Mm.
do you do what you do? Why and who are you? Because if you're a product of your environment, and I like to think of this way. How did I become? Well, who taught me to be a man? Who modeled what it was to be a man? Grandpa, my barber as a kid, my teachers, the preacher, coaches, and my mama. But my mama wasn't a man, but she was mama and daddy. Because my father is my grandfather also. I always keeps calling grandfather. He's my great, no, he's my grandfather. Sorry. My great
No, you're
grandfather
good.
was my hero. I know I made it all confusing.
Yeah, you did.
Grandma's boyfriend was also my mama's boyfriend.
Grandma's boyfriend?
Yeah, it was also my mama's boyfriend when she was 12. So
Mm.
great. Oh, bah, sorry, bad word.
It's okay. It's
No,
okay.
no, no, no.
Well, no, you're good.
Assault.
It's fine.
Yeah,
It,
for the
it it's
unit. I
something
mean,
you
for the
get
for the
used to.
platform. for the
Yeah.
platform.
He said grape, like
Uh,
grape juice.
oh, great. Yeah.
That's
I
what
don't
people
know.
say, but
Yeah,
whatever. We
I
got
don't
you.
want the ebonics to get cut. All right, so
Oh,
she had
oh.
yeah,
Go.
she was unable to give consent. She couldn't give legal consent. Now, in another country, that's a whole debate because in the Hmong culture, you can give consent, I think, at 11 or 12, but that's a whole
Mm,
different reason because the men die younger. They wanted to be able to.
mm.
That's a whole different story. All right. In
Yeah, yeah.
America, you can't give consent. Now, the whole reason I was talking about that, why was I talking about that?
Because you said
Grandpa.
that you were said who you learned to be
Oh,
a
yeah, yeah,
man
yeah.
from, and then
Yes. So, mama was mom and dad.
yeah.
But without even knowing, I learned to put on my shoes by crossing my legs. I learned to look at my nails.
Mm.
Hmm? I
Mhm.
learned a lot of these mechanics that a woman would do.
Mhm.
I ended little parties and stuff with all girls, and they were painting my nails.
Mhm.
But my mom, it was funny because my mom was the one saying, "You're a boy. Stop that."
Right.
So
Right.
who did I learn? Now that's one category. Who did I learn from? Secondly, what did I learn? What did I learn? Who did you learn to be a man from, to be a woman from? Now, before we get into other,
Right.
even that, where did you learn that you weren't the right assignment?
Mm.
You weren't assigned the right. Where did you learn that? It was internal. I felt it. I felt it. I felt it. Fair enough. What's down in the roots? Where did you feel it from?
Right.
Where did you feel it from? If I didn't learn, this is wicked. If you teach a kid, like if you hot water is cold and cold water is hot, that's that's wicked. But
That
where
is
did you
that is.
learn hot water is hot?
I feel like the receptors in my brain. Oh no, but
Someone taught you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's only two
Like
things we'll
love.
do in life. There's only two things we'll do in life that no one needs to teach us. There's only two things in life.
Breathe.
Well, yeah,
What, you tell me.
no, that's good. That's a good one. That's a good
Body
one.
does it for us.
Yeah, a behavior. A behavior. There's only two behavior. There are two things. One's a
Okay.
behavior, and one's not. But it's not breathing. That no matter what, we'll do it. If we never saw it on TV, never saw it on the computer, never saw a magazine, we would still do it. Any guesses?
Oh, that's interesting. And these are behaviors that aren't needed for survival, technically?
Correct.
Okay. I mean, obviously that could even get, but okay. Because 'Cause I'm
Yep. The
like
food.
thinking sleep or
Huh?
whatever, but you have to.
Yeah. Well,
Like, your
think
body
about
will
from
do it.
10 to 13. What happens naturally between the ages of 10 and 13 for a male?
Puberty, like sexual.
What happens? They have a
I don't know, 'cause they
oh, well, yeah.
wet dream? I don't know.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
They didn't ask to have it,
Right, right,
and it wasn't like one day they were looking at the pinup on the wall or the DVD
right,
or whatever. They woke up one day.
right, right.
So if you put two kids on the island, never teach
Mhm.
them anything. They will self
Yeah.
they will self-soothe,
Yes, yes. I know well,
and when
it's
they
still true,
connect,
yeah.
you won't have to give them any instructions. They'll figure out which spot that goes.
Yeah, yeah, that is
And the other
interesting. Yeah.
thing that people do is they pray.
Pray?
You never taught them religion, but they get sick. They'll pray to a sun, to a rock, to a tree, someone outside of them. Someone outside of them. Whenever we
Mm.
feel sick or deathly, oh, we say the word God, even if you don't believe in God, but you would pray to a pole just to help.
Yeah.
Yes. Thousands. I've helped thousands. I've been in the business since 1988 as a professional. And what I mean by that is right out of high school, North High School, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Right out of high school, I was doing public speaking and presentations. And then I was one of those Kids with bad behaviors turn good.
Yeah.
Dr. C. Ever Coop, the old Surgeon General with the big beard, put on the side of cigarettes, smoking is bad for your health. They did a documentary on me. It played nationwide. Then boom, my popularity took off. But I
How
wasn't
did
working
that
with,
how'd
huh?
that come to be?
Oh, because I started doing some educational rap videos.
Oh,
HIV was new on the scene and selling crack back in the 80s and early 90s. So I
yeah.
made a rap about HIV prevention because my mentor put their boot in my butt and I never knew if they even had a high school diploma. So a lot of my stuff you'll see, like I have one paperback, one paperback, three ebooks. It'll just say my name. I'm not much into the degree because to me it was the person and what they did. Those people who put their boot in my butt to help me get together. And I wasn't a bad rapper. I was overweight and I was the fat boy. My raps were like Prince of Bel Air, Run DMC, and the fat. I mean, I always had this clean rap but fun rap, and I was a jokester, comedian. But they said, why don't you make some like positive, like what? And then I used to beatbox, so you put all that together, then they're like, put something positive. So I made an HIV prevention rap, and that just took off. I used to play at the welfare center, and then Khalid Elamine, the Elamines, and I'm not just name dropping, but the Elamine family, we were all at the hospitality house basketball place. And there was a house that was on fire, burned. Some kids died. The news came out. Oh, what happened? What happened? And I was being silly because I used to rap off the top of my head. I made a rap about fire. Da 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 da. And the news people were like, oh. And then like 2 weeks later, oh, would you make a rap? Okay. So that just started spreading around that I was this bad. They said bad kid, but I was a kid with bad behaviors turned positive,
Mm.
and that's like getting paid for it. They were
Look,
paying me $1,000 to go to a classroom to talk about secondhand smoke. Actor Ben Vereen and I'm
you
like, okay,
dare?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, so anyway, to answer the question, I start working with families and couples since 2005, and then I became certified in relationship coaching in 2008 from the International Coaching Academy, and I've been working with couples forever. But when I first started working with couples, to be fair, I did blame the woman. I always believed whatever what was going on.
I kinda do a
But
little
I
bit
mean,
too,
but
yeah,
as I
but
always
yeah.
said, mamas are the ones that sense things like sensory, gut feeling, and all this. Mamas
Mhm,
were the ones
mhm,
to speak on things. Mamas, because
mhm,
men hold it in, and we
mhm,
learn to
mhm.
just whatever, we just deal with it.
Right.
Mamas talked about it more. So
Mhm.
when people came to me with their problems, I figured, oh, some woman must pointed this out to you. And it took a
R
couple of good women to be like, not literally, but a couple of good women to be like, you're stupid for saying that. And I'm like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I did my own work. And the
Right.
reason I did my work, I'm aware of time, so I'll just do this quickly.
Oh, no,
We
you're
need to
good. We
tell,
still
we need to tell
have,
our
like
stories so people know we're legit or what our background is. So one of these times we need to tell. I want to hear your story.
d no, did you
So
see Taru's comment? He said, "My guy's resume is stacked." That's what I'm saying.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
But
in
uh,
1988 right now.
yeah,
Where
yeah.
you know what I
Coach
mean?
K,
So,
yeah, it's stacked because what did I tell you my problem was?
your problem?
Hmm. Why is my
You wanted
resume stacked?
you said you wanted to be seen, right?
Wanted to be heard, wanted to feel validated.
Yeah.
Wanted to feel seen and validated.
Yeah, yeah.
The one PhD program, I found out it wasn't even good enough. It wasn't even worth the paper it was written on. Let's do it
Right.
again. There's no way in the world someone's going to say I'm not legit. Let's do it again. So Grand Canyon University, another PhD. Master program at Adler
Double
Graduate School.
P.
Master program at Kaplan. Just is never two licenses. I mean, boom, boom. Why? But anyway, it's stacked. I own it. I'm proud of it. I'm not going to give it up.
You
So
work
that's the
for it,
good.
yeah.
But
But how
I've
many
been working.
relationships that is
Well,
a
we
great
say
question,
fixed.
though.
Well, they said
Ho
fixed.
Right.
So I can say every couple that came to me, I helped them to feel fixed. But
Right.
before I knew about root analysis, the stuff
Mhm.
we were just talking about today, before I knew that,
Mhm.
their situation was fixed. That week's situation was fixed,
Right.
not the relationship. Now, people who see me now, they might not even stay together.
Right.
Once you realize, oh, that's what's been going on all this time?
Mhm.
You mean you've been an addict? This dude wants to have sex always, 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 and not with me. I'm
Mm.
losing weight. I'm changing my look. I'm changing this. I'm changing that. This motherfucker, he's in there jacking. He's in there. He's, God damn, you're porn color. Are you serious?
Right.
But never did he realize there was an addiction. In fact, he might have been saying the opposite. She doesn't give me enough.
Right.
They're missing each other. And then she had to determine, do I want to be with someone who has such high inadequacies? Am I really built for this?
Mhm.
And we usually talk about boyfriend and girlfriend because in marriage, the vows say through sickness and in health. But if your fantasy is for a girl, everything is love. The Titanic was a love movie.
Mhm.
Batman in the cave, sneaking some woman down in the cave. Come on, that's a love story. Peter Parker rolling up his mask.
Mhm. Right.
A love story. Superman could stop a speeding bullet, took his cape off for Lois.
Yeah.
That's a love story.
Yeah.
Cinderella, a love story. The lady up in the tower, a love story. Traditionally, historically, women grew up on love stories.
Mhm.
Boys grew up on breaking things, fights.
Mhm.
Batman and Robin, pow, bang. Now, I know it sounds like old school, but fight, 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 break, break. Matchbox cars with the dent already in them. They
Yeah.
sold cars damaged, huh?
Boys like destruction.
Smash, smash, break, break. They meet each other at the altar. She's thinking, love, care, maintenance, my hero in the cartoon or whatever. The guy was out there fighting the dragon, dun, 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 jumping over hot lava, dun, 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 got all the way to the castle, and all he did was kiss. Now in marriage, I said, "Oh, my stomach hurts," and the guy says, "I'll pray for you." But she grew up on, he was going to jump out of bed, run to the local store and buy some pads. So she feels disappointed because this is not the belief, that's what a husband is. That's the
Mhm.
one sleeping on the couch.
Right.
And he grew up, fix it yourself.
Right.
And he grew up
Right.
believing when we get married, I get unlimited and it's legal through the eyes of God, it's legal by the eyes of courts.
Mhm.
Ah, and then when she says, "Oh, I don't feel," well, can you use your
Right. Like
yeah inadequacy? I'm gonna throw this one more out, and then we got to wrap up. We got to wrap up. Inadequacy. The guy, and this may not pertain to everyone listening. You know who you are.
right.
The guy who goes to the gym, works out, and gets sweaty,
Mhm.
and comes home and wants to perform.
Mhm.
And to his wife or partner, when they say to wash,
Mhm.
why do you think that will be an insult to him?
I'm guessing because he just did all that work, so now he's washing that away, I'm guessing? But he wants to show her that
His sweaty balls. Why do you think her suggesting, or their partner suggesting, you need to wash first?
yeah,
It,
she
or
doesn't like
let's
it.
do it in a nice way. Come on, baby, hold on. I'll do it, but go clean up. Or
Mhm.
we'll be even nicer. We'll bring out the rag ourselves. Not one of them hard, dry rags that didn't even soak up water. Not one of those. Get a real rag and they'll come
Right.
to wash you. Why does he get upset? Not every guy. I'm talking about this one special guy. Why would he potentially get upset?
I could, well, cuz she doesn't, cuz she wants him to change it, I guess. I don't know.
All right. Anybody in the chat think you know
You
why he,
tell me.
the guy I'm talking about, the type of guy I'm talking about, why would he get upset? Anybody?
And this is a guy that's inadequate.
Hmm.
Because I'm wondering that in maybe in his mind, I'm trying to like put myself in his mind that she doesn't want to take him as he is in that moment, but I don't know.
Okay. Let's do the married version.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
AKA Letty says, get that shit. Right? Right? All right. Coach K, you're my wife.
Mhm.
Now remember, the cartoons you grew up on, the storyline you grew up on is I jump over hot lava, fight the dragon for you, and all I get is a kiss. If I feel like I'm not, if I was raised down in the roots, if I was raised based on the roots, that I'm not good enough,
Mhm.
okay, I had neglect, abandonment, all these type of things, even good. Remember, there was a good version, both parents working. That was the good
Right.
version. We didn't even talk about the ones who get abused.
Right.
You married me, and you said through sickness and in health, for not every man, not every man, not every man, not every person, but for the guy who thinks, wow, I saw you sweat one time.
Mm.
And you know what I saw you do? I saw sweat run down your face. I've even seen snot come down your nose. And you know what I saw you do?
That's too much, but yeah.
I know, but I saw
But
you wipe sweat one time and then pick up a sandwich. I've seen you be
mm,
gross.
gross. Okay. But you don't like
And
me.
now I'm
Oh.
not good enough. Now, again, I don't want to get it
Mm.
confused. I want people to be like, I hope you don't think because what he said, I'm going to be on some sweaty balls. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the guy who complains is going to tell his partner they're going to feel bad because they think that he just wants her to do some sick, nasty shit.
Mhm.
But if he truly knew himself, he will be able to explain to her it wasn't that. I was going to the extreme because of my inadequacies. The time he begged her, the first time getting together, do you put in your mouth? Hell, oh, you got me. No, no, no. He finally talked her into it. You think it would stop there?
Right.
Can I put it in the backside? Oh, no, no, no. It didn't stop there. When my boys come over, not to stop. What? You would want me to be seen? Oh my gosh, you are really? So again, I'm comparing, not the embarrassment. I'm talking about the fact that you did it for me. There's so
Mhm.
many guys who beg, 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 or pressure, 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 and they finally get it, and then they don't even really do it.
Mhm.
They don't even do it. They ask because it was just knowing that you would. It was just knowing that you would. Same thing with the guy sleeping on the couch. That wife, if she knew he gave a little bit more effort, baby, oh man, listen, I am tired. I'm gonna zonk out in about 30 minutes. What can I do? Right now it's about you. No, no, no. Do
Mhm.
you know she might end up flipping it? No, dude, you need to go sit down on the couch and get some rest. But if she knows, once she hears, he gives a damn. He's making an effort. But I worked all day. Doesn't that show? But if she has stuff down in her roots, then it looks different for her. You're working, okay?
Right. You're
Isn't that
supposed
what you're
to.
supposed to do?
Right.
But because she had some stuff, maybe, not a dad around, maybe not this, maybe that, then she feels, but she doesn't know it. She doesn't know it, so she's not articulating, my
Right.
bad. I'm an attention hound. And there's nothing bad about you. It's just that's how I grew up. And
Mhm.
now that I can't change that, and that's what we're going to get into it in the future show with you, Coach K, I can't change that. So what do people need to do when they can't change these behaviors, or they can't undo the
Do it,
behavior?
yeah.
They can't undo it. They can always change. All right, there were a
But
few more
yeah.
questions, but we're going to save those because we're wrapping up. We're doing final thoughts. And like I said, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. If you liked what we talked about tonight,
Yeah.
please tell others about it. Please hit those like buttons and please support the network. All right, support the network. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. We'll give final thoughts and then we'll give our contact information.
So
What are your final thoughts, Coach K?
I mean this is part 1 of our series, and so good. Of course, even with my clients, and I don't obviously go into the deep roots. I do a little bit, but not so much as, of course, as a clinical level like you do. But it is so important to know the cause, to know the underlying root, because if you don't start there, it's going to be temporary. If you're just fixing the symptoms, um, that's why I love coaching, and especially for those that that need the clinical stuff with therapy, because it's effective. It's not a temporary fix when you're going to the root, the cause of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it, and especially the awareness piece. I like to compare it to sports. If you aren't getting the results you want, so I played softball. If I'm hitting pop flies and I don't know why, so I just start trying to change a bunch of things, it's not going to work. I got to look at, all right, what's going on here? And now that I know, okay, we're aware of it now. We can do something about it. So this was great. Of course, I already know that I'm gonna love all of our shows, but this is good stuff. Loved it. What are your thoughts? Your final thoughts?
Well, hopefully we gave you some secrets today,
Mm-hmm.
secrets that help you start to really consider who you are. Where does this come from? Queen
Mm-hmm.
Smiley's in the house. Queen Smiley rules. What's up?
Hey,
Uh,
Queen Smiley.
she was asking why is the person mad because he didn't get his sweaty balls played with. You know, if my wife is a CNA or a nurse and she's dealing with blood and gook all day, and then I come home from a sweaty game and she won't touch me, I could take that personal. Like, so you can touch other people's blood, sweat, snot, and vomit. Then she'd be like, I get paid for it. Oh, the money is more important than me.
I've actually
Mm.
heard my twin sister say that.
Mhm, mhm.
Because she's a
All right.
nurse.
So my final thought is uh, take this for what it's worth. Don't take it, if it doesn't fit, doesn't match, doesn't make sense to you, don't worry about it. We're only asking you to discover, just to take a look into who
Mm-hmm.
you are. It will dispel many, many thoughts about being narcissistic. I'm not narcissistic, but I know one thing, in order to do for me, that sounds like it's about you. I got to get that sounds like it's about you. So anyway, that's another whole story. But
Yeah.
your traits, where did they come from? How did you become the person you became? So I enjoyed the opportunity to talk to you. Thank you. I probably spoke a lot. That's just because we're not doing therapy. We don't have a client with us and all that.
Right.
Again, Coach K and I would do more of the after we've discovered some of these things. What do we do to address them? Next week,
Mm-hmm.
please tune in. I'm going to show you this next week. This little toy that I use. This piece here, you heard that expression, the tip of the iceberg?
Yeah.
Okay, so this
That's
is
just the
what
tip of
people,
the iceberg.
yeah, this is what people see about us, and we're going to talk about
Ah.
what's under all these are the roots. These are the
Yep.
roots. So
Yeah.
people only see from here up. They don't
Right.
understand your roots, and a lot of times because there's a barrier there, we don't even know our roots. Woo! We'll get
Ooh,
into, like I said,
what that barrier is. Ooh, that is good.
that barrier. Woo! We'll get into it. We'll get into it. I love this work.
I love it.
Coach
I
K,
know.
yeah. How do people find you? How do people find you?
You can reach me through my website. It's coachkr.com. You can email me at katie at coachkr.com. I'm also on Instagram. I don't get on there too much right now, but it's just kr.coaching on Instagram. And just wanted to say, hey, Fatty, he's in the chat. How's it going? All right, your contact.
Yeah, yeah. Dr.
His
Nakumbe.
name's Fatty, by the way.
Yeah, yeah. Dr. Nakumbe. drnakumbe.com. If you want more of my clinical stuff, you could do Psychology Today. Look up the same name, Dr. Nakumbe, and that's my more clinical stuff. But the coaching and relationship stuff, uh, coachnakumbe.com. I do have a channel, Dr. Nakumbe, or at whatever. I'm
Yeah,
brand new doing content online. I'm used to seeing people live. So I'm
right.
building my network, but I already have the channel. If you want to start liking, please do, or subscribing,
Yeah, go
please do.
subscribe.
Yes, yes, yes. I would appreciate that.
And then we'll start
Remember,
putting
I'm
that
only
in
giving
the
a clinical
chat.
version. So if you've grown up for 20, 15, 30 years the way you are and you don't buy any of this, cool. We're still good. We're still Gucci. We're still good. All we're
Still Gucci.
offering, yes, all we're offering are some tools, tips, and some ways for people to look at who they truly are. Because we don't, if you think about how did you start, how did you become, why do you do what you do?
And I hope that this does, just in all of the topics we discussed, dispels a little bit of the myths, maybe about what therapy and or coaching can do for you.
Yes.
So, because there's a
When
lot
we
of
get to
talk
the
on that.
third part, we're going to talk about the stigmas, why people don't want
Mm,
to do coaching or therapy. That's some
mm,
bullshit. Who's the white man or some German, psychology, Germany. Why should I believe in that? And no one knows me. Hmm.
right,
So we'll talk
right,
about the benefits, and I'm gonna be honest and talk about some of the drawbacks or challenges.
for
If
sure.
you're in the first responder field, you don't want that on your record that you had therapy and you have a mental illness, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Listen, we're
yeah.
gonna wrap up.
All
Please
right.
continue to support the
Yes,
black
thank you all.
man.
Unfiltered network.
Yes, yes.
Oh
Well, don't
man, I
worry, we'll
did
get
it
it
again.
down. We'll get it down. I want it to be like those shows where we just speak for each other. All
I know
right,
we'll be
let's
there.
start one more time. Please support the black man.
Unfiltered network.
Woo! Yes, 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 yes. We appreciate you, everyone who chimed in. I'll return the love as much as I can and catch up on your shows and get those likes in for you. Just you can drop it here in the chat. Let me know when your show is. I will try and attend. I don't have to be on
Mhm.
the show. I could be in the chat and do my little 2 cents or support you the best that I can. If I didn't give you a shout out earlier, again, thank you for coming. I much appreciate it.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Have a great
Yes,
rest of your
truly.
night and peace.
Bye.